I didn't cry when my mom died. Not at the hospital. Not at the funeral. Everyone thought I was cold. But the truth was, I had already lost her months ago. Cancer doesn't just take someone overnight. It slowly, painfully, changes them. By the time she was gone, I had already said goodbye. What I wasn't ready for was what came next. 2 days after the funeral, my sister Rachel showed up. Not to grieve. Not to comfort me. But like she already owned the place. Keys in hand. Confident. Cold. You should start packing, she said. Just like that. No emotion. I thought I misheard her. What? She sighed. Like I was the problem. Mom left the house to me, she said. I'm moving in. You need to be out by tomorrow. Tomorrow. I actually laughed. Because it sounded insane. Cruel. Impossible. I've been living here, I said. I took care of Mom. I paid the bills. She cut me off instantly. And I'm her daughter too, she snapped. Don't act like you're the only one who mattered. That hit harder than I expected. Because she wasn't there. Not during chemo. Not during the hard nights. She visited twice. Twice. And now? She was here to take everything? This doesn't make sense, I said quietly. But she just smirked. And that's when everything started to feel wrong. Rachel didn't argue. She didn't explain. She just reached into her bag and pulled out her phone. Look, she said. She opened a document, then shoved it in front of me. It was part of the will. And right there, clear as day, was her name. The house. Left to Rachel. My chest tightened. For a second, I couldn't breathe. This is real, she said, crossing her arms. You've got 24 hours. 24 hours. To leave my own home. The place I stayed. When everyone else walked away, I looked around the room. The couch Mom used to sit on. The table where I gave her medicine. The window she loved to look out of. And suddenly, none of it felt mine anymore. Rachel walked past me. Straight into the kitchen. Like she already owned everything. Like I didn't exist. I stood there. Frozen. Trying to process it. Trying to understand how everything changed so fast. That night, I didn't sleep. I packed. Not because I accepted it. But because I needed time. Time to think. Time to understand. Because something about all of this felt off. Really off. Mom wasn't careless. She noticed everything. Planned everything. There was no way she would leave me with nothing. Not after everything I did. And then her voice came back to me. Clear. Sharp. Like she was standing right there. Make sure you read everything carefully. At the time, I didn't understand. But now, it wouldn't stop repeating in my head. Over and over again. Read everything carefully. And that's when it hit me. A thought so strong. I couldn't ignore it anymore. What if Rachel didn't? I didn't argue the next morning. Didn't fight. Didn't beg. I just left. 2 suitcases. No plan. Just one thought stuck in my head. Read everything carefully. Because something about all of this felt wrong. Not unfair. Wrong. Mom wasn't careless. She planned things. She noticed details. There was no way she'd leave me with nothing. Not after everything. So instead of going to a friend's place, I went somewhere else. The lawyer's office. The same one Rachel claimed she had already visited. When I walked in, the receptionist looked up. Hi, I'm here about Margaret Collins' will, I said. She checked the system, then nodded. Have a seat. Mr. Carter will be with you shortly. A few minutes later. A man stepped out. Mid-50s. Sharp suit. Serious eyes. Daniel Carter, he said, shaking my hand. I was expecting your sister. That caught my attention. She already came? I asked. He nodded. Yes, but she didn't stay long. There was something in his tone. Something off. Like he knew more than he was saying. I'd like to review the will, I said. He studied me for a second, then gestured toward his office. Of course. The room was quiet. Too quiet. He handed me a thick folder. Everything is in here. And then. He just watched me. Like he was waiting for something. I opened it. Flipped through the pages. And there it was. The same section Rachel showed me. The house. Given to her. My chest tightened. For a moment. I thought maybe that was it. Maybe there was nothing else. For a second. I almost closed the file. Because everything Rachel said looked true. The house. Her name. Clear. Final. But then. That voice came back again. Read everything carefully. I took a breath. And kept going. Page after page. Line after line. Until. Something caught my eye. A smaller section. Buried between legal text. Easy to miss. Too easy. My fingers slowed as I leaned closer. And started reading. The property shall remain under joint conditional ownership. I frowned. Read it again. Slower this time. Until all terms outlined in Clause 7 are fulfilled. Clause 7? My heart started beating faster. I flipped the page. Found it. And the moment I read it, everything changed. Rachel didn't inherit the house. Not really. She inherited everything attached to it. All the debts. All the property taxes. All the medical bills. Every last dollar was now her responsibility. Alone. She couldn't sell the house. Couldn't transfer it. Couldn't even fully own it. Until everything was paid off. My breathing slowed. Because now. It made sense. Mom didn't forget me. She planned this. Perfectly. Rachel saw the reward. And ignored the cost. And me? I kept reading. Because I knew. This wasn't the end. There was one more line. One final condition. And when I saw my name, I froze. Because I wasn't left out. Not even close. In fact, I had been given something much bigger. Something Rachel didn't even know existed. And the moment she finds out, everything is going to flip. I stared at the page. My name was right there. Clear. Undeniable. My hands started shaking as I read the line again. Slower this time. Carefully. Because after everything I had just discovered, I knew one thing. Nothing in this will was random. Everything had a purpose. And this? This was the biggest one yet. All liquid assets, savings accounts, and investment holdings. I stopped breathing for a second. Then continued. Are to be transferred solely to me. Every account. Every investment. Every dollar Mom had saved was mine. Not shared. Not divided. Mine. I looked up at the lawyer. He didn't look surprised. If anything, he looked like he had been waiting for me to find this. Your mother was very precise, he said calmly. That was an understatement. Because now, everything made sense. Rachel saw the house and stopped reading. I read everything and saw the truth. She got the burden. I got the future. I closed the file slowly, my mind racing. Because now I had a choice. Do I tell her the truth? Do I warn her? Or do I stay silent and let her walk straight into the consequences of her own actions? And somehow, I already knew what I was going to do. I walked out of the lawyer's office. With everything changed. Same world. Same people. But completely different reality. Rachel thought she had one. The house. The control. The power. But she had no idea what she had actually taken. And what she had left behind. That evening, my phone rang. Rachel. I stared at the screen for a second. Then picked up. She didn't sound confident anymore. She sounded panicked. What did you do? She snapped. I leaned back, calm. What do you mean? The lawyer just called me, she said, her voice shaking. There are debts, taxes, bills, this doesn't make sense. I stayed quiet. Let her talk. Let her feel it. You knew, didn't you? She demanded. I looked out the window. At a life that suddenly felt free. I just read everything carefully, I said. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then her tone changed. Fast. Okay, listen, she said quickly. We can fix this. You lived there too. You should help pay. There it was. The same entitlement. Like nothing had changed. But everything had. You wanted the house, I said calmly. You got it. Her breathing got heavier. You can't just walk away. I paused for a second. Then said the one line. That ended everything. I already did. Silence. No reply. No comeback. Just the sound of her realizing. She lost. Not just the house. Not just the money. But the control she thought she had. And me? I hung up. No anger. No guilt. No looking back. Because for the first time, I didn't feel like I lost my home. I felt like I finally walked away from something that was never truly mine anymore. And somehow, I ended up with exactly what my mom wanted me to have. Freedom.